What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the EU4, or what if EU4 started 100 years early game. We are now into 1354, so what's that? 90 years early from the usual start. We will continue, press play, but we did see some pretty big events already in episode 1. We saw the fall of England and that being broken up. Castile, just as the last episode actually ended, I just saw it and I thought, oh, we'll leave it till next time. But Galicia and Leon were released. Portugal took some provinces. I don't believe France took any. Maybe they took, I don't think they took any, but I'm not sure. I think Aragon might have gained these three. I can't remember the initial borders, but there you go. So that was a blow for Castile. You can see Morocco's winning a war right now. Oh, there you go. They just ate that bit of land as well. But yeah, the other main event was, of course, that Shan arrived, and I think we'll see some more breakaway regions here in Yuan, South China. They have a 15 stack here, but there's a lot of rebels, so I don't know. They were struggling to get round, because obviously I'm assuming Shun's not letting them through, which is a pretty smart move. But we'll see if anything else pops out of here as well. Keep an eye on Delhi. They could get very strong if the China region splits up. Delhi could definitely get all of India and then be quite a force to be reckoned with. But yeah, Morocco looks quite big now. I believe they were already a great power, and they still are on the list. I think they've just climbed a few spaces. Institutions is hurting them. I'm not exactly sure what they are in this mod anymore, but there's obviously a lot more, because it goes from the year 0 to the sort of near future. Well, you can go very far into the future, but obviously the technology is sort of capped probably a few years past now, when you sort of hit the end. Who is this in green? I've never heard of them before. Mason. It's pretty impressive. They all have flags. I know some of them might be the same if you go through every possible country, but still, it's pretty cool. There you go, a country called Meissen. Let's have a look. Scandinavia. Who's allied to who? Sweden. Allied with Ormond. East Frisia, Friesland. Oh, but they own Norway. Oh, okay. That's interesting. So Denmark doesn't own anyone this time around, but Sweden and Norway have each other. So we might see Sweden get quite big if they were to integrate that in the next few episodes. It's a personal union, so it does take time. Denmark is more allied to North German nations mostly, or even Poland, Teutonic Order nations. Sapmi here. Oh no, this is Novgorod, Ryazan, Rostov. Muscovy is around, and they have a few allies as well, mostly in the west. I think they lost Perm. I'm pretty sure Perm was a vassal at one point, and they maybe not yet, actually, maybe not. Sapmi has no one. That's pretty sad, but they don't seem to have been attacked, so maybe they'll get away with it. England, oh no, what is this? Lollard Heretics. Oh, that's not going great then. Have fun with that. Norway's still occupied. Castile's now losing to Morocco. This could be interesting. See, Morocco starts getting into Iberia. Who's in? Oh, Retina just had a peace deal. I believe they lost to the Mamluks just there. Or maybe that was someone else just disappearing. Venice is here. Venice. Don't they still have one province? Yep, one. Oh no, this is 2. Okay, they have 3. Oh, maybe 4. Okay, they're slowly... Oh no, they have a few islands here. I didn't see those. Okay, so they're still coming along okay. Just letting everyone do their time. Of course, Scotland's truce with England will be a big one. At the moment, though, they are a defender. Again, well, it actually has expired, but they're a defender against Morocco, which is not going too well. Morocco's winning pretty comfortably. Not much Scotland or Savoy can contribute here. Castile is, yeah, they're being sieged down in Toledo. So Morocco's probably going to get a good chunk of Iberia here, which is pretty cool. That definitely doesn't normally happen too much in the main games, so that's pretty cool. White Horde v Blue Horde again. Do they have any front? Okay, the White... Oh wow, the White Horde has a ton of tributary states. I did not know that, but there you go. So they're going to be pretty strong early on. There you go. The more you know. The more we click this with this map mode, we can see things. Look, I didn't even know this was going on, but Shun, I imagine, might be the favourite in this war. Keep an eye. Yuan seems to have, at least for now, dealt with their separatist issues. I mean, there must be other ways countries can pop out, though, because I don't think Shun... I don't remember that. I just looked and it was here, but I feel like that would have taken a lot of rebels, and they probably could have dealt with it to be this big. But what do I know? Maybe not. Morocco has peaced out? Did you peace out? No, I think they're losing. No, they just lost. Okay, what the heck happened there? I don't know. They must have just had an unlucky battle or something, because still, they have 20k, but we saw Morocco had like 30. What is this? I don't know what happened there. Oh, there's a big war going on. I don't need to pause, but France versus lots of Dutch nations. Bavaria, who's the emperor. Brandenburg, Hungary, Bosnia. What did you do, France? What did you do? I'm going to keep it running in the background. France attacked Cambrai, which I believe is sort of a Burgundy, a precursor to the Burgundy nation that we normally see. These guys. And yeah, they must have just, I'm guessing they're part of the HRE maybe? Yep, they probably called in the Emperor and his allies. But regardless of that, France is, despite getting sieged a bit, they're doing well. Yeah, they were actually winning in Hungary and Bosnia as well with their allies. So that's going fine for France. The White Horde has lost to the Blue Horde. That is a surprise. What? How'd you do that? I thought these guys would be stronger, but to be fair... Well, these are bigger, but they're bigger provinces, so I don't know. But maybe these guys are strong, and no guy might be quite useful. Regardless, the White Horde is losing pretty badly. Minus 50. This could be quite interesting for the region. We'll see what happens in the peace deal. France has not pieced out everyone, but they have pieced out Hungary, Bosnia by the look of it, some of those nations. Which reduces their concerns. Yep, now they're not so bad now. France is looking very good early on. Denmark always have this, and with the Teutonic Order always this big. I have no idea, but there you go. they are now. That's how it looks now. Oh, Novgorod's killing off Sapmi. Sorry, Sapmi. Didn't go too well for you. maybe the AI heard me saying that they don't have any allies, and then that just happened. Looks like Retna's grown again, if I'm not mistaken. And these guys have killed the Ottomans. There you go. Germian here has killed the Ottomans. I don't know who their allies are. Not a Retna, so there's still a sort of west-east divide between these two, which could lead to a war. And obviously Byzantium is also doing their own thing. Everyone's warning each other here. Bulgaria is still around. Wallachia, you still have Serbia. All these nations. I believe Hungary still owns... Oh, Bosnia's a March. Okay. And Croatia is no longer under a PU. They were earlier, but that's now just an alliance. So we'll keep an eye on that. And there we go. The White Horde was broken up a little bit. We've got some new nations in here. Genoa, were they here? I don't know. That got released, I think. And so did Ukraine here. Getting released. I think everyone else was already here. But there you go. The Blue Horde. I think they took a bit of land here maybe as well. But that was nice of them. Let some other nations out. Which of course just adds to the chaos. So we love that. I'm sort of looking down here. Mali's still quite big. Canon Bornu's still around. Daju, I think they were there already. Down here is looking mostly the same. I don't remember exactly who was here, but Kilwar's still around. Ethiopia's shrinking a little bit. Still got a very divided sort of Persia region. We might see that unite a little bit more maybe at some point. Maybe one nation will emerge out of that area. I don't think Shun... Oh, they're still fighting. Okay, I was going to say I don't think Shun's done too well here, but it looks like Shun is... Oh, they're all with Japan now. How did you do that? I don't think it's the end of the world, because it's fairly early game. They probably won't have many transports, so they'll only send like a few over at a time, but it's not great. I say that, there's a 10 stack there. Don't mess this up, Shun. You might be the only hope. If this Yuan nation gets everything going their way, they are going to be pretty hard to stop. Looks like Delhi's also... Yep, doing some more wars. Also, I think... Is this Majar? I never know how to say it. Majapahit. Okay, there we go. Those guys are... I think they've expanded quite a bit. And, you know, if they get all of this... It will take a while, but they inform Malaya, and that's pretty powerful. Morocco did end up taking three provinces off of Castile, so Castile will probably die in this game. Although they have re-annexed Leon. England, for now, has been given a bit of a lifeline. They are allied to some small nations across Europe. Scotland's not come for them just yet, and Sapmi looking a lot smaller as well, as Novgorod takes them most of their land. What's going on here? Who's this? Smolensk v Chernigov. That's a pretty small one, but we're going to see someone blob out and take over this region. And yes, Smolensk. They just took one province. That was what they wanted. Byzantium. This area is starting to be a bit less messy. I see Venice took out Athens. Whoever was in Athens, I can't remember now. And Byzantium's grabbed all of this island, which I don't think they had all of it before. Here we go. There's that war maybe in Persia I was talking about. We might see this. Oh, okay. This is probably not going to go too well for these guys. It's always hard to guess, though. Yeah, they are losing pretty badly. Minus 47. Not what you want. And it looks pretty quiet at the moment. There's not too many diagonal lines. There's a few rebels. I saw one there that just ended, but that is it. So there you go. Europe pretty quiet at the moment. Who's this? Castilian separatists. I'm sure Aragon will deal with them pretty comfortably. Lithuania is quite big. I've not really paid much attention to them. They are allied to Poland and Pskov. But they're fairly big. I wonder if there'll be events, I'm sure, throughout the timeline that fire at certain dates where we might see, you know, Poland still get the PU over Lithuania, for example. That sort of thing. Could still see that happening. I think Georgia is starting to blob out a little bit here in these mountains, this region. See, they're looking a bit bigger. Of course, the Mamluks will be the challenge for these countries to deal with. They certainly are the biggest around, and with no Ottomans to bully them early on. No Ottomans at all now, they are gone. So we'll see how that turns out. These guys seem to have emerged from somewhere. Khotan. There's still plenty of rebels in Yuan. Yeah, there's thousands of them at the moment. Shun is still at war with Japan as well, I see. Okay. Just keeping an eye on it as we hit the 1370s. This is very early, actually. 1300s. Yeah, a long time. Still 76 years away from the base game start date, so quite a while to go just to get to there. The plan will be to make, well, I don't know, I see how many people are enjoying the series, but we'll see how far we go. We'll probably won't go to 1821, but maybe, I don't know, some sort of reasonable point. War over here between, who's this? Okay, so we got the Inuits in Oman against Hassa. And I think Hormuz is on Hassa's team there. Oh, the Cartids here took... Did they kill whatever country was here? I think they might have done. There was someone like all here, but they're gone. Well, there you go. That was pretty quick for them. Okay, yep, there we go. Tang and Wu have now popped out of Yuan as well. And there's also dealing with zealots, which is interesting. There's also Qin separatists, Buryat, Merkit. Lots of different separatists, but yeah, Tang and Wu arriving. And there's other separatists that are leaving Tang and Wu. And there's also a Xi separatists here as well. I don't know if Ming could potentially pop out of this. I don't know the history of how Yuan became Ming 100 years later, but there you go. It might just be there's dynasty stuff, isn't it? It might literally just be the same, but with a different person's like surname or family name. So maybe it's that. Oh, another war. Sweden going up against, oh wow, Novgorod, Perm, Nenetsia, Ryazan, but they have got Norway. Interesting. Are you winning this? It must have just started when it's on 0. Oh, there, the late Middle Ages. There you go. We'll soon be... The Age of Discovery will start 120 months after someone hits Diplomatic Tech 47. See, that's expanded. In the normal game there's only about 30, but I mean, shall I? Hang on, if I pause I can show you without breaking anything. We'll just look at France, just to show you, in case you're new to this. So here's France at the moment, where we could start playing if we wanted to. But their tech, yeah, 45, which is way higher than the normal number. But there's obviously 0 starts, I'm guessing, in the year 0. So that's why, essentially. And there's loads of expanded ones. I believe there's also more ideas you can pick than normal, all the way up to renewable energy there. And there's early ideas at the moment that are still available. Before, I think the next set of ideas is the regular game ones though. And there we go. And then you just hop into observe again. And we're back. There we go, 1370. Making some good progress, it's running just fine. It's at 8 on speed 5, which is good. France is eating or integrating some of the nations within them. I've noticed that light blue one has disappeared from here. Bavaria is still the emperor of the HRE, and Novgorod is now... Oh, they've been attacked by Muscovy too. Yeah, this is chaos for Novgorod now. Okay, well, we'll see what comes out of that. Will be important for the region. There's a lot bigger countries here. It's probably more calm, less chaotic than it is up here. Or obviously in here can always be very chaotic. England being left alone for now. But they don't have an heir, so that could be interesting. I don't know how old this guy is, 31. To be fair, 1300s, that's probably fairly old. But no, you can normally get to like 60 in this game before you really start to worry. But we'll see, that would be bad if they did lose and become a PU of someone else. There we go, Poland and Lithuania versus the HRE as well. I'm guessing they've maybe attacked someone here. Oh no, Bavaria attacked Poland. Okay, fair enough. Well, we'll see if Poland and Lithuania can defend this. Should be interesting. See what comes of it. Poland's already occupied Bosnia. Not looking good for Novgorod right now. Between Muscovy and Sweden, they seem to have got most of it occupied. They won't both be able to get 100% war score though, which will hurt them. Ooh, are these guys getting bigger? No. Oh wait, but they are. Shun is at war with Yuan. They picked their moment. They waited for all these separatists to be everywhere and countries to be breaking out. Tang and Wu were the first two, but I think we're going to get some more. Yeah, there's a lot going on here for Yuan. They are fighting Shun, Goryeo, who's in Korea here, and now Tibet as well. So that is going to be pretty brutal, and there's just separatists in most of the country. I think all these guys were here already, but if not, some of them may have popped out. Oh yeah, Merkits has definitely just broken out. So there we go. It looks like Yuan will break up, which means this region will also be fairly interesting, as long as some of them can sort of ally and, you know, Shun doesn't just become the new superpower. Yuan is still number 2. Shun isn't number 4. Delhi has risen to number 1. France sits in 3rd. Mamluks 5th. Morocco 6th. Japan is up to 7th. And the White Horde in 8th. So Europe is not doing too well at the moment. But I think obviously ideologies and the... Not ideologies, what are they called? That's the institutions. Wrong game. Institutions could make things a bit of a mess from that. Also, did Bavaria attack Poland for a province? Surely that can't be right. They did. Conquest of Poznan. But they don't... If they take land from here, that is going to be gross for the borders, but I don't think that's even possible. Big battle won there by Brandenburg. We got the Novgorod peace deal, and yeah, Muscovy got a lot bigger. But I think they may have annexed some vassals as well. I don't think all of this was Novgorod. No, I think there was like 2 parts of Muscovy before, which have sort of merged. But there we go. They're now a contender. And they still have Vladimir to annex, which would make them kind of look somewhat similar to, you know, the Muscovy you normally get at the start of a game. France's font, yeah, they are just integrating little bits. Their font's got a lot bigger. England is still okay. Scotland's not done anything. Still allied with Castile. Oh, Robert the Bruce in charge. I don't know if that's the same one as the Civ 6 one, but he's one of 3, so maybe. It's pretty cool. Majorca's also managed to gain some more land here. I think, who was it? Provence was here earlier, and they seem to have sort of died. I think it was Provence anyway. I don't know. No one's particularly close to unifying Italy at all, which does take a while. The HRE sort of prevents it for till sort of 1490, so that's another 115 years away. Yeah, Poland is definitely losing to Bavaria at the moment. This region has definitely changed. Yazd is now quite big, as are the Inuits here in the south. We got Mirabanids, yep, there as well. Oh, Ghana's there. Timbuktu. It's just like a country name I recognise from the present day. I feel like you can get that because of how this mod works. Obviously, all the tags will exist, so you might get like a completely modern country just pop up. You know, like it's probably possible like that. You can get like North Korea separatists or something, you know, modern named, just shows up. Yeah, Yuan is in. They're nearly fully occupied. Like, let's just watch this for a minute. Barashi has popped out. Udeji here has popped out. Shiwei has come. So that's at least 3 new countries since we last looked. Shun pieced out and took some land around here as well. I don't know if did they get Beijing? I don't actually know exactly where it is. It's also not called Beijing yet, which doesn't help. I don't know. They're in the region. They're over here. It's this one. The one province they didn't take is Beijing. There you go. Anyone? Oh, there we go. Xi popped out here. That's quite a big one. Here, there is 4 different... Oh no, there's 3 mostly Dali separatists. You'd hope they'd get it over the Yi separatists, but there we go. I'm sure one of them will be successful. It's not looking good for Yuan though, as Xi is now here. Jin. These guys were called something else a minute ago. Now they're called Jin. But, okay. Or Nix. Depending which way around you read it. That's actually, look at that. You can read that either way up in the opposite direction. That's pretty cool. There you go. I'm sure there's a word for that, but that's pretty cool. Like, yeah, it's Jin in one direction. If you turn it upside down, it's Nix. I'm sure it's Jin. If we click on it, here it is. But there you go. And then we've got G. So these guys have got an N. Well, I don't know what that N is for, but maybe it's an advantage. Yeah, the Korean nation's also growing as well, which they are only allied to Shun, so it does not mean as much directly. But we'll see what happens. Yuan is now basically sort of a big Mongolia, so they are still a great power though. But yeah, they've fallen right off the list, or right down the list, I should say. Sukhote is looking bigger. Khmer is still a big player as well. Oh wow, we have gone over time, big time. I didn't even notice. That's fine. Oh now, okay, Poland lost, and Bavaria did take stuff, which I guess they can do as they're the emperor. I don't know. I didn't think you could do that, but that's weird. Fair enough. Maybe it's because they're the emperor. That might be something you can do. But there we go. It looks like now the Teutonic Order and Bohemia might eat up what remains of Poland. Sandomir's here. Also appeared. And yeah, Lithuania's alliance with Poland was broken. So that's the end of that one. England is at war against Munster. Oh, so they're going after stuff in Ireland. Okay. I mean, yeah, they've got to do something. Although, this is big. Castile. Oh, okay, they're surely going to lose. Unless Scotland delivers a lot of help. I would imagine Castile loses this. It's not looking great at the moment, to be fair. Bulgaria also being invaded by Byzantium at the moment, and yet Poland is fully occupied as we speak. Did Sweden not take anything after all that? Maybe they got some of this. I don't know if they had this before. Who knows? But there we go. Oh look, it's 10 days. Let's get to 1380. There we go. Perfect. 1st of January, 1380. We'll stop this episode there. Again, we'll do a little check. Delhi now leads the way ahead of France, Shun, the Mamluks. Then it's Morocco, Yuan, who who I think by next episode probably drop off this list, then Japan, and then the White Horde. So thank you so much for watching. As always, if you have enjoyed, be sure to leave a like and a comment down below. Be sure to subscribe as well if you are new to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one.